earliest to hit the match point mark, which is quite interesting. GG once again, though, jumping into Secret Tunnel as they typically do. LXM just going to throw down the bubbles, gets himself caught out, is going to dash away from this one, but he has found himself caught out. Dongqing able to take that kill. GG off to a pretty bad start off the back of this one. CJS goes down, and there it is. GG punished. And to be honest, no surprises, to be honest. GG always drop on Secret Tunnel. They knew they had the Valda. They knew, like you said, the Valda's gear dependent. So that was just a no-brainer from FPX, to be honest. Like, GG, that's on them for only having one drop spot. And this is something which is starting to be less and less of a problem for the better teams, is they have multiple places they can go. I think if you're GG, the main thing you need to look at, especially towards the playoffs and everything, is shifting up the amount of drop locations you have. Practicing where you're going to drop and not always going for Secret Tunnel. You can go to many other locations on the map for Fireflies or Morris Isle. You need to shake it up.
Yeah, especially because we're seeing Xiphon come through, right? And Xiphon is probably one of the best compositions to be able to contest Secret Tunnel because of the Xi-F3. You can use it to either close the distance on your opponent, right? And because of how claustrophobic the space inside Secret Tunnel is, a lot of the time you just don't have the space to be able to dodge around the F3. But you can also use it to be able to get on top of loot a lot faster than your opponents. And that actually happened to GG. The Valda didn't have a single weapon equipped. You just had to try and disengage and just loot as the fight was progressing. And they steadily just lost more and more health. There's JL with the Viper variety. Throw out that Tessa V1. Do manage to find the stun onto JJH Flames. Gonna get caught up into that one as the Xiphon composition. Unfortunately, still gets caught out by that Tessa ult. Now that the Matari ultimate has run its course as well, TXJ is gonna come in with that V1. Immediately, JJH are gonna separate so that only one of them does go down if the stagger hits. And unfortunately, however, JL is still going to be able to rally together and clean up the straggler afterwards.
Oh, cutting over to DRG, got himself caught out by the fan. WFZ goes down. They did trade out though for Keck, so it's a 2 for 2 as we're in the no ult zone, and we are just going to see 2Tick getting himself the damage he needs onto Wushin 98. Wushin 98 is going to pop the armor heal there, so they can keep himself alive a little bit longer. But down they go. JDG are going to be happy to take that fight. So UG get himself in a fight here versus KLA. 17S loses a lot of HP. Is going to go down to UG. Lovely little pickup off the back of that one. And KLA losing their Tessa and their Wushin. Hence why they didn't decide to fight for that one. Are just on the run. But QGG being harassed off in the distance. May find himself going down to JL as TXJ is going to keep the pressure up onto him. And nowhere QGG goes is safe. He's got KLA. Sorry, he's got OG on one side. He's got JL on the other. TXJ quite happily on the hunt. But somehow it looks like QGG has been able to break away from JL here. So it's like, yep, TXJ, not entirely sure where they are. Do have TE closing in on them though. And yeah, QGG able to break away. Lovely little play there.
I don't know, I was actually about to say, you know, who's been relatively quiet, uncharacteristically quiet, is Wolves. As we immediately cut over and see them taking a fight against FPX. Water just with max range, able to find the parry onto the charge protocol on that fan. However, reinforcements come through 1 versus 2. Wolves are going to be able to shred Water down. Now they're just trying to deal with this Xi. EG dodges out of the fire tick cone. Now turns onto that Z ping. And will be able to, again, just turn it into a 2 versus 1. The stagger on that fan, the light attack into the wind gust to be able to keep Corki just locked into stagger so that ZK with that longsword can shred through any sustain that the Zip has left. Really good plays coming through from Wolves. Yet again, just really able to get in sync with their teammates. That's a huge first fight win. Granted, they only get 2 kills, but they get to absorb the loot that FPX were running into and conserve the ultimates if they get challenged as moving on over. Bowder go up against JJH. Muran with a double jump. Unfortunately, still gets caught out by the Tesla V1 because he's in the air and can't dodge out of it. And Bowder will be able to find the 3-second stagger to be able to lock down the kill. OUG and TE now going head-to-head. Karumi V2 coming into play as Han on this side just tries to set the fire tick to be able to just push all of these players out of that one. The Ep.3 looking to find the connection. The Kurumi cleanse, however, coming into place of the fire tick is going to be just nullified almost immediately. Meteor ultimate means that we get another Ep.3 cast on hand on the Zai. Hasn't used it just yet, is able to find the kill onto one of them. TE's Leo able to actually find that one with the Meteor ultimate onto OUG's SS. As now it's just cleanup. 4U is getting hounded down by 2 players from TE. As Han looks to try and come in with that pole sword. Mitari blink, and immediately TE have to backstep. The Ep.3 trying to find the kill. He's able to dodge it, but unfortunately he's not able to dodge any of the follow-up, and he finally goes down. Valiant effort from OUG to hold on as long as they did.
Yeah, really nice there. KLA also getting himself in a fight here versus JL. Just snowballing off the back of that last game. 5 kills in already, leading the kill lead again. And I think there's been more time where JL have held the kill lead in the last 3 games, but they haven't. In fact, I think they had the kill lead for most of the game 1 as well. They're just being super aggressive. It's really, really great to see from JL. Very, very comfortable on this blind date comp, and you can kind of start to see these bi-weekly finals are like a great place to see where the comforts are for the teams. And like when you're playing these 0-point first 3 games, what comps to prioritize, where teams feel comfortable playing off the back of that. And blind date has been the one for JL. Kind of just briefly while we're talking about the hero select, you talked about it at the beginning of the day, but just to kind of reiterate the point, remember from game 5 onwards, if you're at the top of the scoreboard, well, basically, hero select goes in reverse order. So the lowest of the scoreboard gets first priority on heroes, and the highest on the scoreboard get least priority. So for the side of JL, they want to get those comfortable games in now while they can, because if this does go to game 5, they are potentially going to be forced off the comps they're most comfortable on.
Well, first round of Yang now going to spawn up. We're going to see Alliance use one of their bans, probably to cover. Yeah, at the entrance, they are going to be heading to one of those portals as Bayer is going to be taking a fight. Viper Variety against Zyphon, Tessa V1 catching on to Dongqing. As it is now going to be that 3-second stagger come for a peak now with the Viper V3 managing to find the silence, connecting into Dragon Slayers, into Nezhaz, cleaving through all of the players, doing enough damage to be able to just mince through FPX's water. So we're going to see Dongqing use that Zai Ep.3 to reposition, even though the Tessa V1 manages to catch him. The Ep.3 carries him so far away. It's only now that Bauda are able to come in, peak with a huge spear shutdown onto 2 players in one fell swoop. Spear, we don't often get to see it in solos, but in trios, it is absolutely a monster in terms of weapon placement meta because of how much cleave it can set up for all of these teams when they group up and stack on top of each other, as we're going to see. Wolves with this transformer no doubt wanting to take the fight inside the realm of Yang. Unfortunately for them, it didn't pan out the last time that they actively got challenged. They got a freebie on the second spawn, however, this is the first. An Alliance who contributed that Bane's Breath to be able to guarantee they were able to get into this portal. And now going to have to go up against this Transformer team. Wolves not really running any good soldiers at the moment. However, EG with the purple halberds is going to have a lot of damage attached when this ultimate comes through. Remember though, this is Kurumi V2, not V1, so we're going to not use the transformation immediately. It's all going to be up to EG trying to live and bait the ultimates out from Alliance's side before he actually drops in with the win condition for the Transformer team. Bane's Breath not going to be there for the Monk either to be able to shred for some of this healing. There's the Kurumi V2 coming on out. EG loses the halberds. Unfortunately, they go directly into the pocket of Alliance's revenge with the charged R&B. Kurumi 7 now attached onto EG for the damage reduction, and the Monk is just sitting in the middle of this armor circle. Now that the ultimates have gone through, crucially now that the Takeda ultimate has burned out, the Monk ultimate comes through. No Fury and Shove left to be able to stagger this Monk and stop the grabs from coming through. Tumultuous ultimate is invested. Alliance will have the time to reposition around the Monk as a result, but Revenge unfortunately does get grabbed out and immediately goes down to that first slam. Scarerush now comes on out as Alliance look to mince through this Monk's health bar. Unfortunately for them though, it's already a 3 versus 2. EG's going to be dropping out of that ultimate, and immediately Wolves are going to be getting into full stagger setup. Like EG, however, gets caught up by the Takeda F. Karumi Tether, though, attaches onto the Monk, and even though he gets stuck inside the Wisp, he takes 0 damage. His health bar does not drop a single tick. And Wolves with the peel keep the Monk alive, keep the 3 versus 2 into 3 versus 1 into a win. This is what I'm talking about. Wolves, the synergy, that coordination, it has improved in leaps and bounds compared to what it was last year.
Yeah, they really have stepped up their game. Very, very comfortable team in these in these fight scenarios, and you know, playing it very, very slow and steady. They don't feel threatened by the timer. I think that's the main thing, is when you're playing the Monk and Transformers inside the Realm of Yang, expect to run that timer down as low as you can, because Wolves are doing that, and that is the way, because you have to kind of play the fights very spaced. You can't just explode all your ultimates. Yeah?
The Valda won a Realm of Yang.
Why did we watch them? I'm fine. I promise I'm fine. Right, we're going to see them win a fight versus Monk, I promise. In they come. LXM trying to just get a couple of pistol shots off on the Valda. Finding an opportunity to get some damage off onto Wolves, holding before jumping into the fray. In they come with the Scale Rush, getting a whole bunch of damage down. Do still have that F, gonna throw down the ultimate immediately. EG is getting liquefied by the damage of GG. So much work coming out. They've still got a couple of charges left on that F there, available to throw down. Looking for the spear, aren't gonna be able to quite hit it, but it's just a complete cluster. I'm losing track of what's going on. We are gonna break back out so we get a bit more of a wider picture on this fight. GG getting a lot of damage dealt to them by the members of Wolves, but Wolves are still also going low HP. ZK, one more cannon shot, but the healing does come in. GG are going to trade out 1-for-1. EG transforms, trying to catch 3-3-0, but it's so hard to get onto the Ferromech. They are just trying to find those grabs, trying to find the extra bit of damage onto them. 3-3-0 is going to break out. It's going to avoid and evade from getting the grab. Slam comes down. CGS also breaking away. Is going to get grabbed. Is going to get slammed. Wolves find yet another kill, as it looks like Baldo coming in for the third party. The tether comes through. Wolves are blinking health bars. No ultimates to speak of, and Jing has them pinned against the wall. Down goes EG. Bird's Might is burnt, and only one Wolves member stands as down they fall. TE also sliding into this fight. That just turned into a fourth party real quick.
I mean, like I was saying earlier, right? When you go for those caves, it gives the location to everyone in the lobby, so the teams that are under Yang depletion are immediately going to gravitate to the area, and no surprises, TE is one of those teams that gravitated to where they knew a team would be off of that information. As Alliance also going to be under the effects of Yang depletion, unfortunately for them. They don't have that Takeda, well, they do have that Takeda ultimate. They still have 3 of those shards. They're going to be losing time to be able to use them. There's 1. We've still got 2 remaining, as Alliance's bow is about to use the ultimate. 1 last shard that we have available if we want to peel for our team. Nope, we don't need to use it. Instead, it's going to be JDG with a Takeda ultimate of their own is going to use those shoves and keep Alliance's bow from being able to lock down some of these players. That fan flash is coming on through, trying to clear up the space, trying to find the stagger. As here comes the third party. The fight went on a little bit too long. That's what Sun Siphon is great at. It just sustains. And now we come in with a huge Viper V1. JLTXA catching every single player into the 5-second stagger, and it is just spare cleanup. JL shredding through the players as we get to have a look at GG, who just revived after using that Vermilion Bird's Might. The Valda ultimate about to come back into the mix for LXM. The pulse up chunking through the players on LYD. The Soul Bloom is going to buy LXM that V2 usage if they get challenged by the team just ahead of them. Is DRG in the area, Kale also in the area. Okay, we're fighting inside the zone fully. JDG unfortunately getting caught out of the Karumi ultimate because of the Tessa enchantment from VVV. JL juggling the Karumi away from the sustain. and getting the lockdown
Ooh,
kill.
LXM.
Unfortunately, GG not in a great position right now. KLA have spotted the team behind them, have spotted that this is a team still taking that corruption tick damage and getting the heal cut reduction as well. So JS is going to use the Yushin ultimate, go for the full transformation. KLA immediately going to reposition, probably looking to come back in once those ultimates have been removed, as they do have both the Tessa ult and the Viper ultimate. As we see, oh, are they teleporting behind them? No, they teleported ever so slightly to the side of them. They teleported into Celestra so that they could just disappear amongst the buildings and also control the bell so that no one could kite over, ring the bell, and figure out where they decided to head off to.
Yeah, that's nice there from them as JL. Just going to do a little bit of shopping now, burn through some of those Dark Tide coins they've been able to pick up. Meanwhile, Roma Yang, I didn't expect to see any of the front runners in here, just because, other than OUG, because everyone else had just burnt a lot fighting. So Bowder going to get themselves a little dome for themselves. And it looks like OUG are going to be uncontested inside their Roma Yang, as Bowder have found DRG's WFZ. They're trying to make a breakaway, but they are being swarmed by Bowder. Can't find an opportunity to get out of this one. Just wait for the opportunity, and that is the end of WFZ. Bowder quite happy to pick that one up, and now that means there's only one player of DRG left in the game.
Yeah, I wonder if DRG was trying to make a play for the Rebirth Charm inside the Spirit Well, because they were missing one of their teammates. And yeah, I imagine, especially since we already have had the first Yang go through, that all of the Rebirth Charms from the boxes have since been brought up. As it is going to be the last play from TE, poor old Han. Unfortunately, gets hit by the silence. Uses the F3 now that he's got it available, and the ultimate activation to get another of those F3s to just keep himself moving ahead of GG. Fire Tick comes on, connecting onto CJS. However,
in the bubble,
the Valda F3 catches TE's hand, allows the CC necessary for Free to come in with that fan and claim the kill. JL sitting on 11. I do believe they just put a bounty onto Wolves as well. Yep, there it is as we head over to Shipwreck. FPX also in the area on the Xiphon composition, which is incredibly strong for third partying, as Wolves are on the Transformers team. They don't really want to get spotted out by too many of these teams in the area. They want to try and keep it hush-hush that they're still running this Monk. And unfortunately for them, they really do not want to take a fight against a composition that is built to counter them with that Viper F2 and V1. And it looks like JL actually don't want to chase Wolves. They know that they're sitting on 11 kills. They don't want to overstep their boundaries. They don't want to bite off more than they can chew and run into a situation where they don't have information on how many teams are around, especially since we know OUG are going to be hunting with Mystic Might and the damage reduction that it contains.
Yeah, honestly, really, really good restraint there from the side of JL. Not to just kind of almost smell the blood in the water and go manic with how ahead they are, because they know after this game, potentially, if they get a good enough multiplier, they could be on match point. They could take it all in the next game, provided they play this game well. Obviously, they have to play the next game well as well, but provided they play this game well, they can at least put themselves in the position where they have the chance to win next game. So instead of that, they slow down, they catch their breath, and they say, let's not go for the Wolves kill now. Let's play it. But here's the Valda fight. We do get to see it. Thank you, production, for showing me my Valda. Want to see this as we are seeing this from CGS's perspective. It's getting a whole bunch of damage off onto Keck. Keck being spaced back nicely here. The CGS actually does start to get juggled around quite a little bit here. Going very, very low actually to JDG. The cannon fire is not covering enough, as he is going to be able to finally get the transform out. Really brought up a lot of the attention of JDG, while the rest of his team were able to buy themselves some space. And LXM still ready to go on that. Valda is finally going to pop the ultimate there, the extra health, and catching so many people out. That is just a whirlwind blender there, actually coming in from GG right there. Beautiful stuff.
He holds it. He holds it until the tumult ults. So yeah, when the team tries to take refuge in the middle of the tumult ultimate, LXM is still able to find the spears and actually punish the fact that all of those players are so close to him that they just don't have really the time to be able to react when the CC comes through. As it is going to be the Valda. Well, it was a 50-50 win rate. Now we've seen them take 3 Realm of Yangs and win 2 of them. So hey, that's going positive. As Wolves still holding on to this Transformer composition, still holding on to the cards that they're running this Transformer composition, and still being chased by JL, who still have the bounty on this team. They've seen that the team have come back into Shipwreck, that they were rotating here early to try and just play out of sight of all of the other teams, as far away from everyone as they possibly can. And JL just, again, decide not to overcommit and take the fight. They know that too many of these teams are going to start rotating over to that area and pathing over. One, because Shipwreck is a really good looting path. When it comes to the economic state of the game, right? There's a lot of breakable boxes, which when you run through them, they will give you coins. There's a lot of quests that you can do in the area. There's like the prayer statues that you can go to. There's the bell directly in the middle of Shipwreck as well, which is really good for information. It's a really good central hub of activity that we always see a lot of teams either drop onto or halfway through or towards the end of the match start to drift towards for all of the reasons listed. As FPX going to be taking a little bit of pressure from GG. Spider also looking to try and incite a little bit of aggression. No one really wanting, however, to overstep and take the fight first, as all of these teams are on compositions that want to third party, except GG. GG are on, what is this, Waterable? I guess like we have Ice Pick. I know Surf calls it Snowball with the Justina, the Yodo, and the Yushan. We've got Cannonball, which is the traditional, and then we have GG's variant, which is with the Valda, which I guess is just Waterball.
Yeah, we'll go Waterball for now. I'm not against that name. Right. 8 minutes 44 seconds left until the game fully comes to an end. 24 players left. So it's still a relatively busy game. And actually, we're seeing some Soul Jade rolling coming out from, I think that was GG who were doing that. Valda also going to try their hand at a bit of shopping goodness.
Valda got better. Valda got a legendary. Or it looked like they had a yellow flash. Yeah. No, that was just the weapon.
Yeah,
they got a lot of purples though.
It's kind of crazy to see the meta change that much on the Soul Jade front. Like, I can't remember the last time I saw a pro game prior to this patch where like you'd see more than one blue Soul Jade, and if someone had like one blue Soul Jade, you'd be like, oh, that was an unlucky game. But like now it's just like they got 4 blue Soul Jades. Oh wow, lucky they got 2 purples. It's crazy. It's crazy how it goes. It used to be
Fort Knox in terms of the amount of gold that those players' bags would contain, but unfortunately someone's closed the bank in the last couple of weeks. As Spirit Well opens for business. Baida going to be trying to contest with JL. As we're going to see Dreadful Whale as their soldier of choice to being able to control this space. That's going to be in their hands. No one really wanting to get in the middle of that, rightfully so. TXJ just patrolling, making sure that no one is getting ready. Once JL's done the hard work to try and slide in, looking at you, Wolves. They're starting to close up that distance. They really want to try and slip through and grab some of this loot. Spirit Well gets captured. That's the loot. The Dreadful Whale comes through to try and deny it, but it's the Viper ultimate that comes through from another team in the area. Were Wolves able to get away with some of the loot, as unfortunately for JL, they saw the pressure coming through from 2 teams on opposing ends. They knew that they were stuck in the middle in a position they really didn't want to be in, and they just bailed. They pulled the ejection cord with that Wuchen teleport. They'll live to see another day, but unfortunately for them, they had to leave a majority of the loot behind as well.
Yes, but they did get the gold armor, which I think is the most valuable thing the Spirit Well could have dropped for them. It's interesting how I wonder how Spirit Worlds are actually going to really change the game, because the Wu Shen gives you the ability, because you have to stay there inside that zone, gives the teams again around you to kind of have that time to collapse on. Interesting to see how the Wu Shen's actually going to be very valuable for that very reason. Like TXJ, that was dangerous, but like that was as safe as that could have been. They got out as soon as they got what they really needed. They didn't get to have a proper good old shot, but they got what they needed. And there is a large party happening at the back of that ship. Most of the lobby seems to be hanging out in one area. Obviously, the Bane's Breath playing a factor in that kind of dead center in the zone, forcing the players to kind of spread out. But there are so many teams in this area. This is completely manic here. But there's so many levels to the boat, so many places where you can hide, where when you're looking at it with that eagle vision, it looks like they're all on top of each other, and then you jump into something like this where you get a bit of a look in and you realize actually they are all spread out and away from each other, as AEG have themselves their own little level on the boat to chill.
Solomon's got scatter shot. Wolves taking a little bit of pressure from 3 hours every single bow pull, having to hide behind that Karumi umbrella, which does actually soak up the majority of the range pressure. As GG not playing in the boat at the moment, one of the only teams who aren't playing in the boat currently. KLA occupying top level as well as one of the masts. Wolves gonna be opposite them, sitting on top of one of those sails, allowing EG a position to be able to start pressuring with that cannon. Still does not want to give away the fact that there is a monk currently in play. JJH's Moran gets pressured by Wolves, has to give up the crow's nest and drop down to the rest of his team. JL also wanting to try and see where that player has rotated to, as FPX and Bowder currently have a little bit of a stalemate going off, with one being on the inside of the boat and the other being on the outside. Merciless Havoc going to be coming on out from you. Actually, I believe, is that stanchion that we have? As it is going to be Wolves still. Don't know if there's Aurora Burst. EG is not throwing it out. I think all of these teams will really want to be very quiet about the legendary soldiers that they currently have in position, as it is going to be the zone, starting to force some of these players into taking more of an aggressive fight when the collapse comes through. And if you don't know the soldier that the team in front of you has available, you don't really know how to play into positioning towards them when the zone collapse forces you to. Until then, everyone's going to lull. Until now, QGG comes in with the Viper V1, tries to find all of the stun onto the teams contesting KLA before they pop that Wuchen teleport and immediately nope out of that position. Too hot for their blood to take that fight. Donkwing with the Zai F3 is going to be able to find a kill onto KLA's 17 as. Unfortunately for them, as with everyone positioning inside boat, JL might actually cap the Spirit Well for absolute free, Jake, which is an absolute sin if so. Wolves see it happening, can't really do anything to stop it, but then use that trump card, use that transformation, but yet again, they want to hold on to it and be as quiet as possible. As JL on the left and did indeed, they got it. 2 sets of legendary armor, all of the legendary soldiers that they want to be able to pick from. Like you said, they are incredibly set up. The V1 going to be attached. KLA actually trying to prioritize holding on to Crow's Nest, having to play out of line of sight of everyone because they lost that Wuchen to the Zai F3, which means they don't have the Wuchen shield to stop the range poke pressure from coming through. And the Crow's Nest is the only position they can take to actually make up for that absence. As everyone now starts to take a lot of pressure from Wolves. EG still not kicking things off, but that monk is getting into position to prey off of when the zone properly collapses and flushes all of these players outside of the inner of that ship and right out into the open, right into these monk grabs. Is EG on that high ground? Oh, he's waiting for that zone collapse, Jake.
I don't know if he's going to be given it, though, because he is being pressured by Chewy right now. Looks like he's actually going to try and move up towards the Crow's Nest himself, but KLA still, like you said, holding that one. Are down a player, though, so it does make that a little bit harder. It's so many players in such a small space because of the fact that the zone closed on the boat. Everyone had so many like nooks and crannies to hide in, but we've actually got to this point where there's still 20 players left. The zone's about to make its final move in the next 50 seconds as well. And that's when there's just going to be an absolute explosion of action. And you're going to be happy if you're Wolves right now because you're going to have all of the tools available to you to throw that down. But JL are going to be even happier. Gold armor on both of their main CC characters. The Monk's going to transform and immediately get caught out. There's a Tessa Charm going in onto EG right now. He's going to get himself caught out. No one can really do anything about it, though. Just going to be a little bit of kind of light harassment, light annoyance for the side of Wolves. Is actually KLA have lost QGG to ZK's already been able to pick that one up. TXJ comes up actually onto the top of the boat, joins everyone else up on this high ground, has got his ultimate. He's looking for his own high ground at this point. He wants to be able to set up for that lockdown. KLA are going to go down, but this is going to be a messy ending with the fact there's multiple levels in play, multiple rooms and places where people are going to be able to hide and evade this monk. I would be a bit worried on that front, but in comes JL. They're going to pull that trigger immediately, coming down with the Viper Stun, able connected. They even get everything thrown down onto them. GG using the Valda to buy some space for themselves, but already Wolves have been able to pick up some kills. Valda securing a kill onto Flames as well. JL pressuring onto GG, but they're not willing to fully commit right now. It's getting a little bit too hairy for them. They're waiting to see where the monk is. There he is. EG transforms on the high ground. There is a Viper Stun to lock him in place, though. He's going to try and break away from that, but he gets himself caught out for the moment. Everybody is just throwing the damage in, and EG is melted. He's liquefied. So many kills getting picked up. GG are taking it all, but OUG, they are just reeling in the kills. Left, right, and center. They just crashed in on like 16 kills.